So Radio Winchcombe, I'm excited to bring on my next guest. So let's say hello to the one and only, it's Kika Mirylees. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Really well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking part in the Bad Girls special.
No, that's a pleasure.
So you must have fond memories of the show because you were you were the longest serving cast member on the show.
Longest serving internee, yes. Yes, well, I stay friends with quite a few of the girls. It was a very close-knit community, and we had a fantastic time. I mean, if you're holed up in a prison for sort of 7 years, you're bound to. Well, you would have thought you'd fall out, but actually we didn't. We got on extremely well. So it was like being with a family. I mean, it was very pleasant.
The two Judies were really much needed comedy in the show. I mean, the things they would get up to, from babes behind bars, from when Judy wanted to have a baby, which involved a yogurt pot in the visiting room.
Yeah, no, I had a huge problem with that, I can tell you. I remember when they decided that this is what they're going to do, I read the script and I said to Vicky, who plays the other Judy, oh my God, no, I'm not doing that. That's out of the question. And we were going, oh, it's gross, isn't it? Anyway, we went to see the producer and I said, look, this is not on. I'm not going to do this. I was really militant about it. I said, it's not entertaining. It's not informative. It's not educational. It's just disgusting. And he said, I think I'll find it funny. And I thought, oh, God, these people got minds like sewers. Anyway, on the day of having to do the gross scene, I was in a filthy temper. And I thought, look, the sooner we get this over, it's like going to the dentist, the better. And they brought this unfortunate actor in who was terribly nice, and I felt so sorry for him. But and we sat there doing this, appalling thing. And at some point, just before we were sitting at the table, just before it kicked off, there was this awful sound of, a mixture of burping and farting. And I remember thinking, oh, God, no. This poor actor, he's obviously so embarrassed. He's got sort of flatulence. I don't know. I just remember thinking, this whole thing is getting worse and worse. I can't cope. And I said, would you like some water? And he said, yes. I said, excuse me to everybody. Could you get this chap some water? And then, every now and then I thought it was him breaking wind, and I was thinking, I can't believe this is happening. I just, I don't know this man, and we've got to do this revolting scene, and here he is farting, and I just thought, oh God, I can't cope with it. And then I looked around at him because I was really angry, thinking this is just a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. And I saw Victoria sniggering in the corner. They'd put a fart machine under the table, and they told the guy, because she knew that I was really not happy about doing this, so she wanted to make it funny, and the whole cast was sort of laughing. But yeah, so she sort of did a very good job of sort of reducing it to a silly, funny time. But at the time, I just thought, this is just like so gross. The whole thing is so gross. And when the director came up and he said, Kika, we need a bit more action, I said, oh, yes, I know, just leave me alone.
It was, honestly, it was
so
just,
that's what it was like.
It was hilarious. Every time I watch it back on the DVD, that scene
you watch it. I never watched it. I'm not watching that. I'm not.
Do you ever watch any of it back? Do you watch any of the episodes back?
Well, I did originally, of course, because actually, to be honest, sometimes I didn't read the whole script because I quite look forward to seeing it on the television. And that's what happened. That's good. And actually, the interesting thing is that when I turned up for work, Vicky was always the one who sort of was in charge. And she was not only in charge in terms of the two Julies, but she was in charge when I came into work. And I very often would say, what exactly are we doing today? Oh, for God's sake, we're going here, then. Oh, okay. So, yeah, it was a bit like art, art imitating life, and vice versa with us too. But we had a fantastic time together, and we've remained very good friends. In fact, I've written a couple of plays, because that's what I'm doing now. I wrote a play. We had a read-through. She was one of my main characters, because she's a really nice little actress, and She used to say, "Curse my stumps," when she stood next to me, because I'm 5'8" and she's 5'0". So yeah, and I'm just writing it. I'm just doing research for another play about homeless people and the effects on their mental health and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So I've got a nice part for her. Hopefully, as an alcoholic, 'cause I think she'd do it to a T. Do you know what I mean?
And Judy Johnson was actually involved in one of the biggest storylines in the show's history, which was, of course, who killed Jim Fenner. Now, it was such an unexpected character to be the one that killed Jim Fenner. So why do you think the show decided to make Judy the killer? Because it was so out there, it was so different.
Well, because of that. I mean, they're always clever. The people who wrote it, Chad and Anne, were just really good at thinking outside the box. So wherever you thought something was going to go, they would derail it and change it and put it somewhere else. And their writing actually has a huge effect on my writing in the way that they don't, because actually life, whenever you think life's going to do something, it doesn't. Something else comes in left of field. We have a very sort of linear way of looking at things, don't we? Oh, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, but it doesn't. Life does really weird things to you. And I think it was a very, I mean, we weren't told until the last minute who was doing it, until we finally got the script. And it just seemed actually that makes absolute sense, that when you have somebody who would be so terrified of losing her friend, because the character of Judy Johnson was very reliant on her colleague, and it was taken from two women that the writers had heard about, who had been worked out at Dolphin Square and had ended up in prison, and they had taken on they'd taken on each other's names. They were called the two Mirylees, I think it was, and that's what the two Julies were based on. Because my real name in the script was not Julie, it was Sonia, and it was somebody who, her identity, in order to survive, she sort of adopted her friend's identity so she could be as close to her as possible. And I think when people are so terrified, they do, the thought of losing something, they will do extraordinary things, and it pushed her to that thing, but obviously it pushed her over the edge as well, because mentally she couldn't cope with it. I mean, it was a really good, interesting way of looking at somebody who has become so victimized and frightened of life that she will actually do things like that, and people do, they surprise you.
And in regards
to, very clever.
With you and Vicky, you had the best on-screen chemistry, which I really think just made the Judy so lovable, and I think that's why everybody took them into their hearts. So would you say you and Vicky are really close friends in real life? Because I know you say that you still work together. Yes,
very much so. No, and we see each other quite a lot, and we do stuff with each other. I mean, she's trying to get a play together once, so I'm going to probably be working with her on that. We're just waiting to do a read-through. No, we laugh. We laugh and laugh and laugh. I mean, we're very close. We're very good friends, and we have the same sense of humour. And I've been lucky. We were very lucky to have had that opportunity. It'd been awful if we hated each other. It would have been a nightmare. But no, I suppose we're not really like our characters at all. Not at all. I mean, I'm ditzy to a certain degree, but actually I've done quite a lot with my life. So, but I just, I like sometimes. The one thing about going to work as an actress is all you need to really remember is to remember your lines and do your job properly. But the rest, you turn up. Somebody puts stuff on your face, somebody else puts your clothes on, somebody tells you when to eat, somebody brings you food. How nice is that? You don't have to take responsibility for anything. Go this way, turn right, turn left, that's it, sit down. It's marvellous. The rest of your life, you're so busy having to organise everything. It's just, I've got horses, and I used to have my own catering company, and I write, and I do a thing called equine-assisted psychotherapy with people who've got sports, people who've got addictions, and I teach drama. It's very nice to just turn up and go, where do I go? Here. Do your lines. There. And have a laugh.
Yeah.
That's really the other thing. I love having a laugh. So we had a great time. Yeah, we had some wonderful times. In fact, we got told off on a regular basis because we'd be sniggering about something and they'd say action and we couldn't control ourselves. So there was a time when we were round the corner and they were filming so that we had to come into shot round the corner and there was action, but we had slid down the wall. We were laughing so much and they came round the corner and found us just in a heap on the ground. And this went on and on till they got really angry with us. Well, you try, but you know what it is. I used to say to, don't look at me, don't look at me. Don't touch me either, because we'll just go. So, yeah, we were the terrible gigglers. Yeah, we were terrible. Yeah.
And do you have any, I mean, you just said one there, but do you have any backstage moments that were quite funny and memorable for you? Something that happened that no one would know about that just made you really laugh?
I don't know, really. I don't, backstage ones, not really. The only thing I can think of is that I was up in the makeup room, and this is just because I can't, unless I'm sure there are, but I can't really think of them. But I do remember, I said, does anybody get any deodorant? Please, in the makeup room. And yeah, here you are. And I don't know what I sprayed under my arms, but it was something white, and it was all over the place. And I, and everybody went, oh my God, I said, well, it's deodorant. It was very weird. It's all white. And I think it was some sort of hairspray with, colorant in it. I don't know, but then I had to scrub it all off. I'm sure there are. I can't remember. It's a long time ago, don't forget. It's a long time ago.
And tell us about the reunion that you had not so long ago, the Bad Girls reunion.
Yeah, that was fantastic. We had a load of women from all over the world. And I mean Australia, America, South Africa, you name it. They came in their hordes. And what was really wonderful is that, like a lot of things, you don't realize you're busy enjoying doing your work and interested in the storylines and everything. But the one story that me and Vicky had was about one of the main owners of Shed, the company that did Bad Girls, and the main writer. Very, very, very sadly, her sister was dying of cancer, and her sister wanted her to write about her experiences. And so Chad made it the thing between myself and Vicky. And it was harrowing to do because you knew that some of the lines were obviously those of Chad's sister and her, and it was really, really distressing, but it was also important. And it was about breast cancer. And what was really great was there was a woman from Australia who was a nurse who'd come to the convention, and she said that it was only because she watched Bad Girls and we had this storyline, because actually Chad's sister did die of cancer. She didn't survive. But she checked her breasts and bingo. And she's a nurse, and she didn't do it until she actually saw it. And that's why she was standing there talking to us to however many years later alive.
That's amazing.
So, that is incredible. The thing that you don't even consider the ramifications of it, or how, people's lives can be affected by something that you do, can have that thing. And there was girls who'd been bullied. There were people who turned up who were very nervous and very frightened. I mean, there was a couple of girls I noticed, and they made friends. They're people who socially found things hard, and they made friends through being great fans of something, and they were all very inclusive and loving. It was just it was a very lovely thing to do, and I think the fans have been wonderful for us, and I hope that that it's a shame that we didn't get to do more, but we had a good run of it. But yeah, they watch it endlessly. They quote lines back at you as fans always do, and they come from. There were a few lads there, just a few. But I'm not just excluding men, but it was predominantly women who were there, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, they came from all over the world, and it was just lovely.
And I know you said then about, it's a shame they didn't make any more. Do you think there could ever be because a lot of shows are coming back now, so do you think Bad Girls would ever come back?
Well, yeah, but they probably have a different kind. I mean, we'd be 100 years. Two old ladies in the corner. Oh, Joe, do you know what? Do you remember when we went? Nah. Oh, can you imagine it? Well, I say say that, I think we're very well preserved as it happens, but, it would be very odd for us to still be there after all these years. I suppose we could be visiting, our granddaughters who might be banged up. But, I think it would... I expect they'll do another prison drama. That people all love that sort of thing, don't they? So eventually that'll come about at some point. But things have their day. I mean, I think it's just one of those things, which was great. We thoroughly enjoyed it, and we thoroughly enjoyed doing it. But you have to let go and move on.
Well, it's been absolutely amazing talking to you. I'm a big fan of the show, from the two Judies arguing with Old Body Bag to the constant arguing with Fenner, and of course Babes Behind Bars, one of the funniest storylines in the show. So thank you so much for taking part to join us in our Bad Girls special.
It's a pleasure. A pleasure.
So the plays that you're working on those now, aren't you?
I'm working on the one that I'm writing, and Vicky's wanting to get another one done, which is already written. So, we are always working with one another as often as we can. Anyway, So when it comes up, we will be putting it up there on Twitter and everything. So,
wow,
yeah.
Well, we'd love to get you back on the show to promote that. That would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be great. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us.
Great.